when you get deep enough into home brewing and specialty coffee, you're going to eventually have a travel setup. You're either going to bring nothing or you're going to bring way too much. And I brought way too much this time, but this is kind of what my travel setup looks like now. I figured I'd do a video on it because one, I've never done a video on it, but also it's kind of changed recently. And I'll talk about what the bigger changes are. I'll talk about what I brought. I'll give you an overview in a second. I'll do like a bird's eye view on the table with a different camera. And then we'll talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, what I would change or upgrade, and then some of the bigger issues with traveling and what you can do to remedy that, or what the other options are essentially. But okay, let's get into it. Bring out my phone. Let's do a quick overview of what I have. So the biggest new addition is the Baby O. I haven't traveled since I've had this guy, but this is the plastic Triton version, and it is so lightweight and literally indestructible. It's the perfect travel dripper in my opinion. And I don't bring a carafe because I don't want to bring glass, so I just brew right into a cup. This cup's just illustrating that. Always got to have a scale, so I grabbed an older black mirror scale. You can see it's dirty, haven't even cleaned it or used it in a while until this trip. As far as filters go, I brought xblooms. I did bring regulators for the 01. I'll explain those in a second. This is my go-to travel grinder. This is the A2, the EasyPresso A2. And I did bring the S5. Let's see, a better view of this. I did bring the S5. I wanted to test on this guy because I just got it. So normally I wouldn't bring this. Well, I will now because, spoiler alert, this thing is awesome. But normally it's the A2. And then as far as Kettle goes, this is probably the biggest issue. I was driving this time, so I was able to bring a Kettle. We'll talk about that more in a second. Water, distilled water. This has empty. I actually brought some back because I had third waves going. And then bringing various coffees. I brought a bunch of love letters. If you guys don't know love letters, check them out. And then I brought some of Jackson's coffees. Jackson is part of the Boise Coffee Club. He roasts at home. And then I got a bag of Luna that I absolutely crushed. This was awesome, by the way. So that's a quick, and to carry it all, I used just a bag. It's not the best option. We'll talk about that in a second as well. So that's a quick overview of what I brought. Now we can dive a little deeper into my thought process and why I brought things or what I would change and all that fun stuff. So obviously the Oreo 01, this thing is perfect in terms of travel. It's plastic. It is, again, it's indestructible. So the thought process behind this was I can't break it. And I haven't tried. Maybe we should do a destruction test on this, see how indestructible or easy it breaks. But obviously something that is glass or ceramic, probably don't want to bring. So maybe look at something that's more metal or just plastic, resin, Triton, whatever, just so you can't break it and you won't cry if it breaks or if it's not your main one. And then the cup, kind of self-explanatory. Obviously, like you don't need to bring glass. If you have cups where you're going, then you can obviously just brew right into a cup. Scale, I wouldn't mind something a little smaller because again, traveling is all about space and how much you can or can't bring, and then size. So size and weight, essentially weight. But the black mirror, it's pretty small, it's pretty slim. And like I said, this is an older one. I have a couple of them, so I don't mind if something happens to it or if it gets forgotten. It's not my main scale, so I have that luxury where I can kind of not have to worry about it as much. And then in terms of grinders, this really is an amazing travel grinder. If you don't know about the EasyPresso A2, I got this on AliExpress for 90 bucks shipped. That's pretty tough to beat. And for the cups you get from it, it's essentially a EasyPresso Q in electric form. It's got a little motor in there. It's pretty light, it's compact. It is, the only thing you kind of have to worry about is this lid is easy to lose because it can pop off pretty quick, but not needed. So if you do end up losing it, you could probably 3D print another one of these, but whatever, let's not lose it. But this thing is an awesome grinder. It is reliable. I know exactly what I'm gonna get out of it. Like I said, I did get this from Timemore right before I left, so I was really excited to play around with it. And it was like a good opportunity because I knew that not being at home, I wasn't going to have access to my regular things like my Ode or my other grinders. So it kind of forced me to use this and to really test it and to get an idea with it. And that was the other reason behind the regulators. I normally would not bring these traveling, but I knew I really wanted to test with this and try this out and get an idea of what that was. However, I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to get out of it. And let me get a close-up on this so you can kind of see the regulators and kind of understand a little more. So the Baby O is a very fast dripper. It has a huge hole in the bottom, but these guys, these regulators, they just plop right in there and you can just kind of push it through. And they have two different sizes. That is the number 2, has a smaller hole, and this is the number 4, has a larger hole. So it gave me options to play with instead of having to bring different drippers or different papers. I didn't want to travel with a bunch of papers either, especially because I like wave filters. But these are, oh, well, there goes that one. But these are the regulators. I was going to show both of them, but they just plop right in there. These are awesome. Again, not something I would normally bring every time, but I just wanted those options for this. And then the xblooms are just the tried and true papers. I knew exactly what I was going to get out of these. I know how fast they are. I know what the drawdown times are. So those are those. I just bought another box and just brought that with me. And then you probably could have, I mean, considering you can get these on Amazon, you probably could have ordered them to wherever you were going, depending on where you're going, I guess. If you're going international, maybe that's a little different. The biggest issue, and I think what the issue that most people are going to run into when having a travel setup, is a kettle. And obviously traveling with a gooseneck kettle is not the most optimal way to travel. I would normally, if I could do this again, or if I actually own this, I'd bring a melodrip. This guy, let me give you a close up for those that don't know what a melodrip is. This is the melodrip. You can just pour right onto it. This piece right here that you pour onto is plastic, and then it comes with a metal rod attached to it, so you can pour right into it. You don't need a gooseneck to pour into this. You can use a cup. You can pour into a cup. You can use any other kettle. You can use anything you want to pour into this guy. It comes with a glass stirring rod or stirring stick or whatever you can use. I obviously wouldn't bring this. I'm just brought it out to show you guys. This isn't mine. Actually, I traded. It's on loan. I traded my April dripper to my buddy Tom. He sent me this, so we're both just using this stuff until we swap back. So I didn't want to break it, even though I would have just replaced it. I genuinely like that tool. It is a solid tool, especially for travel, because again, goosenecks are not practical. I know one of my other buddies has this like little pop-up kettle. It's like it's a travel one where you can kind of compress it and it pops back up. That is another option. I've never used one of those, so something to either test out or consider for yourself. And then at worst comes to worst, you can emulate the melodrip with a spoon. You can just kind of pour onto the spoon and it overflows. Again, pouring onto it might be an issue. Water, it is an issue in the sense of you want to think about it, but you don't have to travel. You don't need to travel with a big jug. You can just pick one up at a store wherever you are. You can even pick up bottled waters, but I got some third wave packets. So I just went and grabbed distilled jugs and did third waves. I did 2 different versions of third waves. I did just full packets into gallons, and then I did half packets. So I did like a 50% mixture. Water, I think, is one of the easiest things to actually, one of the easier things to worry and consider when it comes to traveling, because you can do packets or you can just grab bottled water and use that. And then I did bring a lot of coffee. I don't normally suggest bringing a ton of coffee. I actually have one more bag that I didn't, that I threw away, but I knew I was going to be doing testing with the S5. I knew I was going to be meeting up with friends. I knew we were going to want to rip a bunch of brews, and I just wanted to share some beans with people. And so that's why I brought probably too much coffee. So I don't normally recommend bringing a ton of coffee, but I brew and drink probably more than the average person. 2, I knew I was going to be meeting up with people. And 3, I knew I was going to be testing. So again, not normal, but a version of what I brought. And lastly is obviously this tote bag. This is terrible. This is not, I mean, can I throw everything in there? Yes. Does it serve the purpose of carrying everything? Yes. Is it going to protect everything? Absolutely not. This thing is pretty flimsy. And I would love to get a different option for travel, and maybe like a hard case of sorts, which is super extra, but I'd totally do it. I can freely admit that. Again, with the kettle, this is terrible. I would just stack everything in here, and then I put the kettle on top, and then I put this bag on top of everything in the car. So if you're driving, it works. If you're not driving, yeah, this is not going to work at all. Maybe if you're doing it as a carry-on or something, this would be a terrible travel bag, but it's what I had. It's what I used. Again, a hard case would be much nicer, but that takes a lot of dedication. That's pretty extra. I'm not saying you're extra if you have one, because I would totally do it if I had one. But that's kind of what I brought, what my current setup looks like in a way. Again, I don't know. Moving forward, I'd probably pick one of the two. I definitely wouldn't bring both unless there was a purpose for it. Kettle is going to be maybe, because if I'm driving, I'll probably bring some version of a kettle. I might pick up my own version, my own melodrip. So then this will be the de facto travel piece. But if I'm flying, I'm definitely not bringing a kettle. And then everything else is probably going to stay the same, because it's pretty optimal and it works pretty well. So let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you do for your travel setup. And if you have any recommendations for anything, because I'm always looking to change my travel setups. This thing has changed drastically over the years. Like, I mean, this guy kind of changed everything too, but that's what I got. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time.